Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Crystal Palace away on a Monday night. It's one of those weekends, isn't it, where a lot of the times this season we've been not looking forward to the weekend. Of course, you always want to see Chelsea play, but with the way that we've been playing on the whole, sometimes I'm looking at the fixture and I'm like, this could ruin my weekend. However, this weekend, after watching us beat Aston Villa the way that we did at Villa Park, I'm like, Monday night, really? You've gone and stuck this one on the longest possible gap between the game from Aston Villa that we could have had. Great for the recovery of the players, but for me and for you, for the excitement that builds over the weekend, I am itching to see Chelsea beat Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park now on Monday night. We have got to see something similar, not just with the lineup, but with the passion, with the fight, with the hunger. And there were so many little nuanced details about the tactics and the way that Chelsea played in this game at Villa Park that we just have to see moving forward from Pochettino'S Chelsea team. And I'll tell you now, a lot of people have been saying in the comments this week in my videos, wow, you change your mind so quickly. There was a lot of sarcasm in my short video where I said I've always backed Pochettino as the guy. That was clearly sarcasm. Although for some people, not clear whatsoever. Fair enough, take it as you will. But I will say this, once again, before we start building my Chelsea team, I'm confident, A, that we can go to Palace, who don't have Mark Guehi, Eze and Elise, arguably their three most important players. They don't have any of those players. Roy Hodgson is under pressure. We saw the Palace fans away at Arsenal with banners in the away end when they were getting smacked up at the Emirates. They're not happy there. And I feel as though this is an opportunity for Chelsea to be ruthless, for Chelsea to smell blood and go there and build upon that result. But in terms of what we need to see, there are all of these buzzwords right now, and I say buzzwords, but they're the untangibles. They're the things that can't be backed up by statistics, the unquantifiables, as I always call them, the passions, the fights, the hungers, the determinations, the work rate, all of these things where, yeah, you can have stats of how many kilometres has that player run in this game, but quite often that can be shadowed by the fact that it was meaningful and it's just proof that you didn't have the ball. Whereas with Chelsea at Villa Park, the possession was very close, but the most important thing that was close were the players. The players were fighting for one another. Enzo and Caicedo were literally mirroring each other, and when the right opportunities arised, Enzo would go forward. Gallagher's work rate was fantastic, as it quite often is. Disasi and Badiashile, they were also brick walls at the back for Chelsea playing together. Unfortunately, as much as we want to see repetition, we want to see Pochettino building upon things that actually work. Benoit Badiashile is injured again. He's got another groin injury. Now, if you saw the previous video, I went into a lot more detail about this whole injury thing that Chelsea have. Where's Romeo Lavia for a start? If you want to see that video, check the link in the description. But Badiashile is not going to be available. Levi Colwill is off of that injury list that we seem to see. Chelsea players being assessed more often than actually being injured. Then Levi Colwill could be back. Could Levi come straight in and replace Benoit Badiashile? That's a question that I keep umming and ahhing about right now. He's been out injured. Does Pochettino rush him back in, or does Thiago Silva fit in alongside Disasi? But what we saw against Aston Villa was the defenders stepping up. Now with Thiago Silva, when we're in possession, doesn't mind stepping up, but when Chelsea don't have the ball, we were winning it back so quickly. If Aston Villa bypassed that Caicedo-Enzo pivot, then Disasi and Badiashile were just there. And it didn't matter how many members of the Aston Villa side tried to overload that Chelsea defence, the men were just there, ready to pick up the pieces, limiting Aston Villa for the amount of decent opportunities and good goal-scoring chances that we gave them. So I'm not sure. At this point in time, if Colwill is fit, Pochettino said in his press conference that he may well be fit. They'll have to wait and judge for Sunday. Realistically, I think Silva will be in the side. But now, without any further ado, I'm going to build my Chelsea 11. It feels good, right? To be a bit more optimistic. And I just really hope here that we can buy into the fact that these Palace injuries are big injuries to big players. And also buy into the fact that we need to see consistency. Chelsea need to build upon that Villa result, or it almost becomes redundant again. And it is at that point now where, as fans, we have the right to flip-flop because consistency is what we're looking for. Consistency is also hard to find when you've got so young players. Some games it's really going to click and we'll see that class. Other games it will be more difficult. But this Palace one, away from home, I actually think it's also better that we're away because their fans are going to have their team under pressure the same way that Chelsea are in the Premier League. So, Petrovic is the goalkeeper. I keep on saying it. I don't think this guy has really put a foot wrong since he's come into the team. I feel very confident with Petrovic as the goalkeeper, and I'm recording this on the day that Petr Cech signed 20 years ago, which is absolutely phenomenal. It makes me seem like the oldest man in the room, in the building, and on the internet. Petr Cech signed 20 years ago. Mental. We got Petrovic now, and I'm back in the bloke. Moving in to a Chelsea back four. And I've gone here, I've put Colwill in the team. Gusto, Disasi, Colwill, and Ben Chilwell at left back. I saw a lot of people praising Chilwell for his performance on Wednesday night. I think a lot of the players, every single one of them, deserved praise on Wednesday night. I thought Chelsea were fantastic. Malo Gusto, this guy is the real deal. I am so excited to see him play football again. I think he brings a lot of balance. I think the work rate is there, the quality on the ball, the confidence to run with it. And I think it's a really good partnership potentially with Noni Madueke on that right-hand side. If we can see him as comfortable, as confident on the ball as he was at Selhurst Park, then that is a strong, solid right side for Chelsea. We move into a midfield pivot. I'm lining this up today as like a 4-2-3-1. It is very much like a 4-4-2, more so than a 4-2-3-1. Enzo, Caicedo, pivot. These guys were pivotal in Chelsea's win at Villa Park. They were so good. Enzo getting forward a little bit more. Caicedo protected behind him by Badiashile and Disasi. He was absolutely phenomenal. There was actually a compilation, a 50-second video that Chelsea posted to their Twitter account just showing how good they were from the Emirates FA Cup game against Villa. That is how great that partnership looked. And we knew all along that we didn't buy trashy players. The reason that Caicedo, Enzo, came under scrutiny is because when you spend 200 million, you have to succeed. They absolutely have to be the player and the players that they were at Villa Park. Because if they're not, Chelsea can't recoup the money, because if they're not playing at the value of 100 million, teams aren't paying 100 million for Enzo and Caicedo now. So Chelsea have literally thrown everything on the line. And we need that performance on a consistent basis. And I'm backing them to do it and build upon that result here at Palace. We move into the three behind the striker. We're thinking about the striker right now. I'm pretty sure who it's going to be. I've gone with Madueke, Gallagher and Jackson again. Look, these players, they're not playing multiple games a week very often. So I'm not going to go into this whole, we got to rest this guy. No, if they're fit, this is the team that plays. We were fantastic. I keep on bringing it back to the last game because that is actually a proper hook. That is something that we can hold on to and be like, you know what? I believe in this team and I believe in those players that were out there only if it was just Wednesday. If the same team go out there again and they're like, well, look at the praise that we've come in for. Look at the way that everyone's suddenly talking about us in a different light. They're going to want to do this again. And Cole Palmer through the middle. This could easily line up like a 4-4-2. Madueke there on the right-hand side. Gallagher doing all the run-in. Jackson as well coming through the middle as well as out wide. I think when Jackson was kind of hugging that left-hand side a little bit more, that's where Chelsea looked the most fluid. That is where we look to cause the most problems. Obviously, Jackson's instinct is to drift inside, but then it is up to Chilwell to close that gap. Enzo then to come forward a bit if Jackson is going inside, and Gallagher to keep on running around and entering the box. And hopefully, the finishing. That is the point I want to talk about here. Chelsea were clinical against Aston Villa, but the issue all season has been that we have not been clinical. So, if we can get our shots on target, if we can create multiple opportunities again. I think it was 15 shots, 8 on target in the game at Villa Park. That's good. Chelsea can replicate that again. I think we go to Selhurst Park and we win. I'm going to say 3-1 Chelsea for the second game in a row. I think Christopher Nkunku's going to come off the bench and score. I think Jackson's going to get another one. And I think Ben Chilwell is going to score. Those are my 3 scorers. I think Chelsea getting 3 points here. I'm confident. And I say that like the most confident that I can say that I've been confident for a while. And I know that you're thinking it was just one bloody game, Benson. Yeah, I know. But that's the most fun part about being a Chelsea fan and a football fan. Getting excited. When we're let down, it hits a bit more, but it's more fun to be excited the whole flipping time. I love this club. Love you lot. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.